mentioned that Severino Giancola, the family members of Severino Giancola are also here, and he's a dad that also needs a liver transplant, and he's actually right beside your mom, Lily's room. So, and as everybody probably knows here, this is a very urgent plea that we have. Alicia, beside me, her mom needs a liver transplant, and she's in critical shape, and she could receive a cadaveric liver or a live liver. And we're hoping that Mr. Claremont Humphrey arrives here so he can share his story, being a live donor himself. And so we're hoping that he'll be able to come here to share his story. And also, I have the pleasure to my far left to have MPP Mr. Frank Cleese, who's been very active in organ donations. And I don't know if it's, you presently have a bill, but I'll let you talk about that.
Sure.
And so I just wanted to state on the onset that since we ran the story yesterday, we've had an outpouring of people right across Canada that have responded to help save Alicia's mom and any others that are on the waiting list. Alicia's mom needs someone that has positive O blood type, and there's people that have been responding that have AB and other types blood, but they still want to. And so it's through the story that they seen with Alicia and her mom that they're stepping up to the plate. And that shows that Canadians are not only kind and generous people, but all they need to do is hear the message. And they're asking me, what should we do next? What are the next steps? And that's really what they need to do. So it's really the message that's really important here. Canadians are ready to do their part, but we also have to make it easier for them, because most of these people that are calling are hardworking Canadians, middle-class Canadians that might not be able to afford to leave their job for a month and a half, because that's approximately the time it takes, you know. And some of them live in Sudbury, some of them live in Saskatoon. They might need help with getting here, you know. So we're urging the government again to speed up a bill that's presently on the table to help these people to compensate their expenses. They're willing to do their part, but they're going to need help in compensating the expenses. I mean, we're living in a recession now too. So we have to urge our government to do their part, you know, and people are going to respond. People I'm going to be showing over 100 different emails and phone calls that I've received thus far. So Canadians are ready to do this. And we're very optimistic right now and very hopeful that Lily's life will be saved. Because as we're talking, there's people getting processed. So that's very encouraging news. And we need to continue getting this message out, because more Canadians will respond. So I'm hoping each and every one of you that is here today reporting this news are going to give it your love and your power to really put a dynamite story together, because that's what's going to do it. We're going to get more people, and I'm the optimist of all optimists, because I believe that everybody on that waiting list can get saved. We just have to get the effective message out there. So with that, I'm going to ask MPP Frank Cleese to say a few words.
Sure. First of all, let me thank George Marcello for the work that he has done. George is a living example of what organ donation does. George himself wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for the miracle of organ donation. And his advocacy really encouraged me as well as a legislator to become engaged in this issue. And I think, to George's point, people are willing. When, in fact, the call is made, people do step forward, which is really what prompted my private member's bill, which at this point in time has not been taken up by the government. But we're going to continue to do that. It's just one small piece of the puzzle. My bill would require anyone who applies for a driver's license or a provincial health card that it would be mandatory to answer a question regarding organ donation. Not that it be mandatory to say yes, that there be three options that people have. One is to say yes, I'm willing to be an organ donor. The other is to say no. And the third is to indicate that they are undecided about the issue. But the principle behind that bill is to cause people to actually think about this important issue, because many people simply don't give it thought until, as in the case of Alicia and her family, a circumstance is there that now is a matter of life and death. And if in fact we had a more mandatory system that actually brings people face to face with this issue, then I'm convinced we would have many more people in this potential pool of donors, that we would have a registry in this province by blood type, so that immediately we would be able to go to people who are willing donors and resolve this issue. So I just want to commend again George for his advocacy, the government for the things that they've done so far, but there's still so much more to do. And above all, Alicia and her courage to be here today, to advocate and to really plead for her mother's life, which is what this is all about. And so, Alicia, we'll ask you to let people know what's on your heart today.
Well, first I want to thank everyone for coming out today to support me and my mom during this hard time. My mother, Lidia Sorbara, has been waiting for a liver transplant now for 2 months, but unfortunately she has had complications along the way. I myself, as well as other family members, have been tested to be a possible living donor, but unfortunately, due to my mother's rare blood type, O positive, and other barriers, none of us are the proper match for her. My mom has been fighting Wilson's disease since the age of 17. Wilson's disease is a rare disease that clogs the liver, preventing it from doing its cleansing job. Basically, the body produces mass amounts of copper that cannot be filtered through the liver in pursuit of a normal life. My mom has always controlled the disease with a very disciplined health regimen. Unfortunately, though, without notice, Wilson's disease returned last November, destroying my mother's body. In a heartbeat, this vibrant woman that I call my mother is in the intensive care unit at Toronto General Hospital. My mother is a single parent. She has worked really hard raising me and my grandmother, who also has Alzheimer's. She has truly been the best mother anyone can ask for. She has given me life, and all I'm trying to do is help save hers. So please, I beg you, help give the gift of life. Just imagine if this was any one of your cousins, aunts, sisters. It can happen to any one of us. There are so many people out there, along with my mother, fighting for their lives every day, waiting for a donation. We as a society need to come together and get educated to fight this, because together we can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia.